If you're brave enough to say goodbye, life will reward you with a new hello. That's what Paulo Coelho said. And this means that if we're capable of moving on with what we have, better things might come into our lives. This quote is related to my topic because there were things I was really attached to and didn't want to let them go, although I actually ended up having better things. Three events that changed my life and my perspective of new experiences are my junior high school graduation, moving from Mexico to California, and finally when I made the decision of my major. My first event, which was when I graduated from junior high school, was the start of my journey to a life with changes and positive perspective of it. I went to the same school for 12 years since I was a child until I was 15 years old. I knew the same people, and the same students, the same teachers, and the same places I went to since I was a kid, so that really affected me when I went to high school. I was really anxious and nervous because I didn't know the world that was outside of those places. So after a semester, I finally realized that there were good changes in my life, such as I met new people, I went to new places, and that helped me to grow as a person, and I became more social with society. Now that I talk about junior high school graduation, I will talk about the second event, which was when I moved to California. Moving from one place to another in the same country is not the same as moving from one country to another. That was my case. When I was in Mexico and moved to the United States, I was 60 years old. I had 1 year at high school, so I was new in the high school uh, place. My dad later got a job offer, which he discussed it with us, and we decided that it was good that we came here. We all agreed, and I was really nervous and scared because I didn't know anyone who had the same experience as me. It was a new language, new cultures, and new places, and I was really scared. But suddenly, I realized that moving to California helped me and my brothers to have a better education opportunities. Plus, my parents could help my family in Mexico financially. And I also got to learn more about different cultures and places, which is one of my favorite interests. And now, moving on to my last event and the most recent one of the three, was choosing a major. I had a major decided when I was back in Mexico, which was to be a pediatrician or at least be involved in the medical area. But when I came here, I realized that the education system back then, there and here is not the same. So I find it difficult to continue with my dream and my goal of being a pediatrician. So later on, I decided to think about my interest, my personal interest, and a career I was thinking I was good on. Back in Mexico, my backup plan was going to be enter into a business career. So then I thought about mixing my interest in traveling and cultures and languages with business, and ended up having to decide that I was going to do business administration and focus on international business. So to conclude, there were three things, three events that changed my life. The first one, which was the junior high school graduation, helped me realize that I wasn't knowing everything outside of like the world of school and home. But later on, I learned that I was more social than I could have been before going to another school. The second event, which was moving from one country to another, was a really scary event, but after a certain amount of time, I started watching the positive things about that change. My family was helped back in Mexico, my brothers and I got better opportunities, and I got to learn more about the outside world. And the third event, which was choosing a major, helped me realize that there are more options other than your main goal and that you don't need to decide just one thing. You can have more options and still be able to do it well. My final quote is keep going. You never know how strong you are until you look back at everything you overcome. Thank you.